Hi, the Sergeant Beast Larson. CO Life, the new series. We're going to talk today about medical call-outs, medical situations, prisons versus county jail detention centers. The county jail detention center, medical comes during the intake process. We talked about that. They do an evaluation if necessary, and they leave. Then the detainee goes to the holding cell. Eventually they go to their dorm. That's it. They have sick calls they fill out for specific needs. Anything that's major illness related, medication, things that require extra attention, like diabetes, medical already knows about. So in the county jail, the detention officer, they may have time every day where they take them up morning and night for their diabetes medication. When I did, we were taking like 5 people from the area that I was working at, those dorms and the specific area. So it was just the 2 of us would gather 5 up, take them up one at a time. They do their diabetes thing, that's it, and go right back. It's peaceful and simple. Now, the one thing on the county jail level to remember is they're limited, the detainees, the inmates, the prisoners, that words, they're limited in passing contraband to being exposed to others. So they're going to do this if they go to medical, they're going to do this if they go to library or some kind of public function like that, or maybe morning in court. Now it's totally different in prison, but we'll get to that here in just a minute. So at the county level, they may have requests, they may be sick, they may tell the dorm officer, I'm sick, they're laying down, maybe they're throwing up, something's really bad. The officer's going to call a code, and about 10, 12 shift officers come and take them to medical, get their attention, and then they get their medical treatment and get sent back, or maybe put in a little holding cell. It's a lot less ulterior measures by the detainee in a county jail than it is a prison. It's pretty much, I'd say, 90%, close to 90%. It's a medical need and come right back. Now on a prison level, let's switch gears and we'll talk about these. In a prison, the daily routine is kind of set in stone from morning. From the chow, wake up, to medical times. You had medical call-outs, you had dental call-outs, counseling sessions, telesat, which is your psychological evaluation, usually on a laptop computer somewhere. If you're in the ISO seg unit, that computer gets brought to office space, and we would pick up, escort, take them down there, and they would do that telesat right there. So it's completely different. And when you've got 400 detainees, the number of these visits are very small compared to 1,000 plus 2,000, 3,000 life inmates. You've got a huge list. You can get a printed out list, sometimes 2 or 3 pages, and you're assigned, a couple of you or a group of you. That's what you're doing pretty much the whole day, is getting them to their medical and dental kind of thing, kind of appointments. So it's a really big difference. Now in a prison, they go to medical, it's not 90% just because they've got a real serious need to see a doctor or a nurse. They're going to medical for 90 different reasons that are not medical. They're going to pass tobacco, pass marijuana. They're going up to give tips or advice, some gang information. They may go up to say, hey, we put a hit on so-and-so. They're going up there to tell the other inmates that are in medical, hey, this is what's going down. We've got this problem, or hey, the Super Bowl's coming up. Get a hold of this one and this inmate, these 2 inmates. They're the bookies for the Super Bowl. So they may pretend stomach illness, beat their stomach, make it red, pretend like they're about to throw up, just so they can go up there and say, hey, see so-and-so. He's doing the numbers for the game this weekend, kind of thing. So COs, supervisors that are working in the prisons and at the county, you got to be aware, why do they need to go? And a lot of times the officers will say, you're not sick, I don't see anything. You're not throwing up, you're not bleeding, you're not going. Put in a sick call. And that's normal procedure, put a sick call in. But I'm talking about when they actually do get to go, when they're on a list and they go. If they go to the dentist, that's pretty serious. They're not trying to pass anything to the dentist. Usually they're going to get their teeth pulled. And it's very exciting. I've got to participate in that. I did not pull the teeth, but I helped the dentist I was the one that provided the water in one hand and the suction in the other. And 1 week I got to help with 5 different inmates getting teeth pulled. He said I did a great job. I was very skilled and patient with my hands. That comes from a lifetime of being a defensive tactics instructor, very calm with my hands, calm under pressure. And I enjoyed that. It was like a new aspect that I've never seen before. And probably a lot of officers never get to assist a dentist in that process of teeth pulling. Anyhow, it happened. Maybe they're going up because they have some kind of relation with an officer or a nurse, one of the staff members. Maybe this male inmate has been talking to a female nurse and talking, and you know how all that manipulation goes. Maybe that the staff member or the officer's been manipulated and they're going up to receive something that was brought in for them. And it was made known the day before to the officer, hey, I've got a sick call tomorrow, make sure you've got it. The staff member, make sure you got it, I'll be in for that. So you have to be very aware of the multi-reasons that an inmate wants to go there. They may go there to start a fight. They may go there to attack somebody. I remember, real quick story, they called us to the dorm, a general population dorm. Hey, search the room. His roommate's up here. He's high on marijuana. We think this guy's got marijuana by his roommate. So by the time we get to the room, we get searching to find that. He becomes sick. We take him up there. They're roommates. They get along. They're in the same gang. But when he gets up there, he beats his roommate up. When he runs around a corner away from the nurse, runs to where the like the little emergency room section is, runs in there. They don't care about cameras. Cameras are there to document things. He runs around and starts tagging his cellie before we could get in and break it up because he felt like he snitched. So a really unusual reason to go up there and beat your roommate up for snitching just over marijuana. He's just going to get wrote up. May lose privilege for 30 days from something. That's it. Lose yard or maybe store, and that's it. Not a big deal. But it was to him. So these are the different things about medical. These telesats, when you do a telesat visit with a psychiatrist, let the hair on the back of your neck raise up a little bit. I've been in there where they jump up and want to attack the staff, the counselors, turn around, hit the officers, start banging their head on the wall. They're acting out. They're on mental health medication for a reason, or they need it for a reason. They don't take it because they're selling it for food. Keep that in mind. It becomes a whole fiasco. So that telesat, that shrink psychiatrist visit, you got to be extra careful of that. It's not your average coming in and my stomach hurts, or I need to get checked for this and I'm getting a medicine refill visit. Always be suspicious. Always be suspicious. Always be careful. Don't do this alone. Very important rules. Take another officer when you're doing these mental health things because they will go sideways. They will get bad and you will end up in a bunch of use of forces during a medical visit. So that's kind of the difference. It's a lot more involved and in detail, especially when you have inmates coming from different dorms. Now you've got 6, 7 different dorms. They're sitting in a hallway or in a room like I'm sitting in now, waiting to go in. And if you got one officer or 2 standing in there, 8 people do a lot of damage to other, 8 inmates, fighting against, and there's 2 officers in there. They'll get their point across. They'll get somebody stabbed. They'll solve what they need to solve. They're not going to care about you in uniform. So just keep that in mind. They're going there for a reason. And even if it's medical, they're going to seize on that opportunity. Like we tell our kids and teenagers, I gave you an inch and you took a mile. You give an inmate, a detainee, an inch, they're going to take a mile. Some of them are looking for a marathon out of that inch, right to 26 miles. They want a lifetime of everything on that day. So this will just give you an idea. If you're a new officer, I hope you're going to enjoy this series. I'm going to talk about some things and kind of compare the two. If you're thinking about getting into this career field and making a decision, should I go to the county jail Should I go and work at a prison? Should I look to go to a federal prison? I kind of recommend working at a state level prison before federal. Get a couple years under your belt. A lot of federal prisons won't hire you without 2 years experience. Get some under your belt, because those federal inmates, they just don't get arrested and go straight to federal. They've been in state prison, they're experienced. They know exactly what they're doing. And for a new person that's not aware, you're taking a hard path. Anyhow, I hope you like this. Be very informative. Post some comments, some ideas, anything wild, anything that's been unusual or different. Contribute, post in the comments. Let us talk about it, all of us. Thanks again. Hit the like, share, and don't forget to subscribe. See you soon.